So please join me in welcoming Aidan Chopra and Bitsbox.
Hello, everybody. We work with kids. It's good practice. My name is Aidan Chopra, and I am the creative director at Bitsbox. My co-founder, Scott, and I are a couple of ex-Google employees who have teamed up to invent a new way to teach little kids to code. It all starts with an almost painless neural implant. Some of you aren't sure if we're kidding, you sickos. Okay, seriously, everybody knows that software developers are the kings and the queens of the modern age. They can have anything they want. They can live anywhere they want. And if your kid wants to be a programmer, wonderful. But that's not what this is about. Coding is about creativity. I can't think of a single awesome thing invented in the last 10 years that doesn't involve programming of some kind. If you want your kids to be creators, to be makers, to be contributors to the modern world who can breathe life into their own ideas, they need to know something about programming. We don't teach our kids to read and write because we want them to be novelists. We teach them because we want them to be happy. We want them to be successful. Maybe they buy us a Maserati, but mostly we want them to be happy and we want them to be successful. So let me show you a little bit of what we're up to. Bitsbox is a web app. It's a website where kids build apps for virtual devices. We give each one of them their own virtual iPad when they start, and they build things like games, they build greeting cards and puzzles and drawing apps, you name it. At first, we tell them exactly what to type. Very soon, they're customizing, and before you know it, they're creating their own apps from scratch. We've seen it happen. The apps that kids build with Bitsbox run on real devices, too. If they want to get them from, let's say, the computer where they're working to their iPad or their Android device, they just scan the QR code with the device, and the app appears right there where they can play it immediately. Of course, we've made it incredibly easy to share the apps that they build. In fact, parents can share their kids' apps with other parents. Because we know that if bragging is the currency of parenthood, then Bitsbox will make you rich. But programming is not a game. Programming is a language. And what do we know about teaching languages? Number one, it's never too early to start. Would you rather have your kid learning to speak French when they're 7 or when they're 17? The second thing we know about teaching languages is that it just takes practice. There's no magic to it. It just takes time. So what are we doing to make practice as fun as possible at Bitsbox? Well, we looked everywhere, and we found a technology that is cheap, it is reliable, and it's so simple that for a year and a half, it was based on ponies. It's the mail. Kids love mail. Have you seen their faces when they get something in the mail? It's like Christmas. They're like, I get a package. Emails, meh. Physical mail, amazing. Bitsbox isn't just a website, and it's not just a mobile app. It's a physical box, an actual box that we deliver to your kids every single month. It's full of apps and projects and activities all around that month's theme that they can do by themselves or they can do with you. Parents routinely spend hundreds of dollars a year teaching their kids to not drown, teaching them to not get beat up. We teach them how to make friends when they're backpacking through Europe. We teach them how to get dates when they're backpacking through Europe. A regular Bitsbox subscription is $30 a month. And $30 is enough for us to build a great business, but more importantly, to be able to be incredibly generous to individuals and organizations like schools who might not be able to afford this price. This is a kid who grew up in Sterling, Colorado, about 2 hours northeast of here. When he was 7, his dad bought him a Radio Shack TRS-80 supercomputer. You hook it up to a television. That's the monitor. And there's no shift key. It's all caps. And he spent every day for months teaching himself to program by copying code out of the book that came with the computer. 25 years later, he sold his first software startup to Google right here in Boulder. I'm really proud to say that this is Scott Leininger, my co-founder and the CEO of our company. It works. Think of how amazing he'd be if he'd had Bitsbox. I met Scott about 10 years ago, maybe 8 years ago, actually, when we were both working on SketchUp at Google. I was the product evangelist for SketchUp. I made content. If you Google me, you'll see that I wrote this book. Scott and I both love to make stuff for people, especially kids, that teaches them how to do really hard things, like coding. We've also recruited an amazing group of advisors, and I'd like to take this opportunity to publicly thank them. Everybody give them a hand of applause. If it hadn't been for them, we literally wouldn't be here, so I'd like to thank them for everything they've done and the hundreds of hours of help they're going to provide in the next few months. We are launching a Kickstarter next month. If you believe in this as much as we do, and you want to help, go to bitsbox.com/hero and put in your email address. We'll send you a message a couple of days before the campaign goes live. Help us blow it out of the water. Help us hit it out of the park. I think my favorite computer scientist said it best, in the words of Miss Whitney Houston. We believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier to make a brighter day. Thank you.